Variable. The king of heaven fell helplessly in a pool of blood. The body is getting weaker. Look at the golden light shining into the most human track. His face showed a little unwillingness. I can't stop screaming in my heart. That's his regal nature. How can the sky change its position? He is the future owner of the universe. The owner of the dragon returned it to him. But his throat was most definitely removed. It's basically impossible to sound out loud. They can only look at it. In the end, I can't stand death. The two eyes still show up. But outside the town of Kwakji, everyone looks in the direction. Probably in the most horrible way. Suddenly at this moment thunder broke out. The whole air shows no sign of darkness. Thunder broke out everywhere. The sky can't shake. People can't shake their bodies. Most likely, the world is still the same face up. The sky is screaming, the four-sided gold is getting brighter. Prime Minister, what's going on? Duong Song old face terrified. He looked at the sand and said, sweeping eyes at everyone. The wind cannot help but breathe deeply. Look to the most secure side. Face color stops heavy. The old man talked to the high priest. According to what he said, once the heavens are in motion, there's going to be something really big happening. The universe is about to change. Just set out. Everyone is terrified. Look at the most positive side. Suddenly, a ray of fear emerges inside. At the same time, in the city hall, at the headquarters of the emperor, suddenly the earthquake. The night the castle swayed endlessly. Feng Hongfu Lightning Palace is practicing. Suddenly open your eyes. Your face is not screaming. What happened after all? It's not okay to start the great bow. The dragon is starting to riot. A celestial spectacle hurried up in front of him. One side says, in the eyes involuntarily shrinks on the one side of fear. How can there be that? Our king has ruled for thousands of years. There has never been violence. Now the 9 religions have escaped the seal. There can be violence. They don't know this either. Currently, 8 Kier Dragon are hitting the seal. Extremely aggressive. Only BA sound transmitted out. He killed a lot of players. Our heavenly perspective. We're about to stitch it up again. Ask the Grand Palace for instructions. Your child never stops turning around. Hong Fu Feng frowned and bit his teeth with a loud scream. Down command. Tell everyone in the kingdom to come. Sealing point. Long soul suppression. The dead are no exception. Once the dragon spirit breaks the seal, the first person in trouble, it will be our royal family. Yes, the subordinates understood. Hurry to embrace the right to claim. The man hurried down to give orders. Hong Fu lightning storm soak a battle. This is so weird. In the peaceful land of Long Soul, suddenly there was violence. In the end, think no. He picked up the plane. At the same time, in a small alley inside the Long Castle, a bunch of people in black robes, silently hiding here. Current Emperor strict goalkeeper. How should we get in, seriously? A man in black suddenly spoke up. The sound of a girl. If you look up, this is the dance floor. But the opposite is the medicine alone. Serious tongue. Look at the heavy guard inside the city. He couldn't help but shake his head. Even if we hide it. He could see through the eyes of the king's guards. But inside, there are still 10 bowls like magic scenes. Under the field, it's our spirit. There's no way to hide it. It's very difficult to get these guys mixed up. Even if it is harder, you have to make sure everyone has said it. Later in the battle with the 7. Our intelligence work is extremely important. In particular, the Emperor also has impermanent leadership. The important thing is, we need to get news about his location soon. The dance in his eyes condensed calmly. Seriously, look at her deeply. Sighing deeply. Thinking about changing books. At this moment, a humming sound suddenly echoed. Each cloud of darkness shrouded the long city. The whole city just keeps vibrating. Do people seriously startled? I don't understand what happened. Then I saw every army of the king. Towards Kim Kwang towards. Most of the time, it's the master of magic. In addition, there's a heaven. See this situation. I can't help but laugh out loud, ha ha ha. God really helped me. The Emperor must have done something big. So all the new scenes are coming together. Even the Master of Heaven's scenes followed. This time, it can be seen as the most empty time for the Emperor. Let's get our heads up. The Lord is glad to hear this word. Bring the crowd. Follow the secret route of the Emperor. The army behind. He also carried a white bag on his back. I don't know what's inside. Another aspect of the imperial capital. The Emperor is approving the show. Watching intelligence from other sources. I feel the thunder again. The earth's feet echoed. He was holding a piece of paper on top of which he wrote. It confused the Emperor. Jiang Ha Ho Hai was proclaimed king. Heaven and earth together as one. Dragon calms down the world hard. Earth long wagged the tail of the heavens. What does this mean? This old high priest gave a riddle. Didn't he make it clear? The Emperor thought quietly for a long time. Maybe we'll split the universe 7 years later. Flaming smoke fire sow. 2 eyes sniffed. The Emperor in his eyes flashed the ray of light. The tone says no. It happens. Even the sky can't stop me. 361 pawns in the end. Inside King's son. The worst of all, face up to the sky. The screaming stopped for 9 days and 9 nights. Accordingly, the thunder, and the earth, it also echoes through the sky. In those 9 days, it's only when most people stop screaming that it stops. Lonely girl battle sky reluctantly hugged forehead, sighing and screaming for 9 days and 9 nights. It's finally stopped. Wide one side. He also looks to the most secure side. The face is a little unsightly. This metamorphosis phenomenon, it is most definitely related to the real thing. Maybe that's it. It symbolizes the earth and the sky. Give him the kingdom. If so, he will become the biggest threat to Emperor 7. He should solve it. The baby bird can't even spread its wings right here. Or you can go back to your majesty and think about it. Think about here. He sighed a little and fell into a dilemma. This side is impermanent. It's like seeing the thoughts on your face. Suddenly he turned his head to look at the royal palace. The sky says, "Wait a minute, the boy will come back. You can join the BA." The rest of the family rushed to kill him. To eradicate the scourge. How to do it? Fang Thursday White and Solo. They're all gladiators. Hands in front of them. Not finding her own way to die. The Emperor of Heaven was startled and whispered. Slowly shaking his head, Impermanent Leader laughed and said, "Don't worry, Master. Maybe they would have done their best to protect it before. The great steward of the strangers. But this moment, maybe we're not the only ones who want that kid dead." He was devastated by the loss of his son. "I can't help but kill that boy. This is the best thing for everyone. Isn't it?" My eyes can't help but light up. Hong Fu Natural Resources think a little. Immediately, clear thoughts in the words of the impermanent recipient. Slowly nod and laugh out loud. This time inside the mountain. Most probably the world does not stop quietly rejoicing. Save metallurgy to be able to return to the earth. It's like a collection of the three great things of the monk. Training in person. Next, you just need to practice long air. Dragon Soul united, it will be even more perverse. Hong Fu Than Thien. Think about here, unconsciously glance at the heavenly Hong Fu lying in a pool of blood on the ground laughing coldly. You claim to own your own destiny. It has a royal character. You are now white. Everything was stolen by Lao Tzu, including the fate of heaven. But I just talked about this. He suddenly thought of something. Dragon Soul Kui. After all, the sky is shining. Or the calamity that comes down here. Ask if there is an emperor. Allowing a so-called future emperor. God's light exists in the world. Unconsciously watching the sky sigh. I think it's time to reveal the power of the lost. At this very moment an oscillator emits. A column of yellow light 1,000 miles away. Suddenly headed straight for the sky. Staring in that direction. Unconsciously afraid to say something wrong. The devil is about to escape. Most likely, people also look at Theo, shaking your head in rejection give comments. A cold face says a little boy. Not bad. Hear this word. Strictly appear a little awkward. But didn't say anything. His face showed a little dissatisfaction. Glancing at him. Probably suspicious, or ask. How did you get in trouble with him? He said nothing but shook his head. Most likely a faint smile, a reassuring voice. Now you are the man. I will definitely help you regain your dignity. A little surprised to see. It's a bit of a struggle, a bit of a struggle. You also got out. Let's kill him for revenge. Another dimension. Strictly selling demons 7 sutras according to the door of the battle law. Lucky to escape difficulty panting. It's time to look seriously. A little agitated in tears. The police saw him return. Rushed to sell the devil. It's not just strict. The elders of the pharmacy now. They rush to surround him. To be comforted. The devil is still a little scared. He looked at the boss. The boy escaped from the monster's hand. It's not easy at all. It's like not long after. The police officer came close to the demonic hand. Whispered the devil. We have discussed with the Lord of Heaven. In a moment, the 4 of us will kill each other. In a moment, stay behind and watch for the chance to kill him. It seems as if you have set up your own. Remove the disgrace 7 defeat in the Beast King paint. Let the world see the harm of our medicine. Hear this word. The devil just walked out the door. How can you dare to face that evil? He is afraid of trembling. I don't want to say the owner. I watched him tremble with fear. The prince was immediately angry. Low voice to useless scold. Just a little scared by the monster. You have become such a coward. We are in front of you. He just told you to take his life. Bargains come to the door. You don't even know how to pick it up. There's still some hesitation. But in the end, the devil nodded reluctantly. See this scene. The officer was pleased to laugh. That's the disciple of our medicine. Wait for the two of them to come out. Just like that, achieve the goal. Everyone is heading to the city to wait. Probably the most serious step out. Inside King's son. Probably the most calm. Standing in front of the gate, still slow to get out. Everyone looks suspicious. Even being serious is a bit bizarre. Suddenly, he slowly raised his hand and spoke. See, time is relative. Strictly not. You really don't want to let me go. Can't help but be stunned. Be careful or ask your butler. Not waiting for him to finish his sentence. Most likely they laughed to cut it off. To reward you for your performance this time. It is also to welcome you into the community. The butler is me. This will fulfill your wish. Then he raised his hand and started counting down. Strictly do not understand. Fascinated to look why. That outsiders are equally suspicious. To whisper. What's that kid doing? He hasn't come back yet. Impermanent leadership. Look at his actions in the city. Doubts also arise. But now he suddenly thought of something. Look at the people screaming. Strictly electric master. Buy leave strictly sold devil. Something serious, the suspect asked. But I couldn't get inside the mountain. Most likely, it came to the last number. The monster outside suddenly exploded. The body is no longer. And then another one he broke. A liquid thanks to the blue. He looked horrible from inside his body. It stuck on the faces of those around you. Just like that, people who get shot are instantly corroded. Quickly turned into a pool of blood. In the words of the impermanent. Was able to dodge out of the loop could influence. But still not free from fear. Doubt or murmur at Sao. The devil suddenly explodes himself. What's this all about? What happened after all? But an AI can solve the problem for him. Because one AI understands the reason right now. Inside the National Jelly Town, to the sound of laughter. The best of the best. Seriously see this scene. In eyes filled with wonder, or wonder oh. What's your butler doing? 2. You're welcome. I'm laughing at those idiots. They think I will give them a way of life. Really, I can't wait to ask seriously. Most likely, he opened his mouth to explain. Since the beginning, I've been calculating where to go. My soul's blood communicates with me. So I gave them orders early. Only for Kier fools left the mountain. In 10 minutes they'll blow themselves up. But it's all a joke from Lao Tzu. You really laughed at me. From the beginning, I am the winner of this game. A high-level player illuminates the explosion scene. He will take the lives of many people standing next to him. As for the people standing next to him, ha ha ha. And guess who it is? Let's go back. Listen to hear. I can't help but tremble with fear. At this moment he is finally clear. The cruelties of the worst. It really scares people. A moment later, two people enter the red light of the gate. Disappeared in the blink of an eye. Waiting to appear again. Went to the front of the town. But I don't wait for everyone to come to the most beautiful place. There was immediately an aggressive sound. Load up your life. Accept 360 to heaven strengthen the war of the pearl of the sword god. See this scene. Fang autumn white and lonely she's startled. Hurry up, but only a few steps. Suddenly thinking of something. The two of them stopped and looked at each other. Finally silently nodding his head in place. Maybe that would be good for everyone. On the other side, just like the previous plan. At the most probable moment, he came out of town. The sky is like the wind. My mouth doesn't stop screaming. Give my son back his life. The air is strong. Khan is constantly rushing to. Strict cannot resist stagnation. Appears in wonder. There are three owners in the back. He also unleashed all his power. Look at this situation. To others afraid of being too afraid to shake. Most probably still calmly standing there. His face showed a strange curve. Smiling coldly, I'm sorry. If you want to take revenge for the royal family, I'm afraid you can't do it today. The voice has ended. Everyone heard a loud noise. A black image falling from the sky. The moment's strong atmosphere. Take the for people of the kingdom of heaven to fly out. A size 7 defeat Hong Fu natural resources angry scolding loudly. Who dare to worry about the fate of our king? On the contrary, it is most likely that people will smile. He turned to the black man for a long time. A surprise storm took place. That people can't help but be amazed. Look that way. They want to look at the top. Who at this moment dared to confront the emperor? Let's help the most evil. Keep your eyes on it. Wait until the dust clears and the body tremors. The sharpest eyes in front of me are the most obvious. There is also a strong body. It's like wanting to crush everything. That people can't help but panic. This person, that's one of the great masters. The peak of the celestial empire. It has always been known as the practice of imitating Khan's strength. Take the power via respect. I don't know who recognized this person first. Panic cry out to heaven Kang with respect to meditation. You are a guest, the bow of our king. Where have you been all these years? It just appeared. You covered for that boy. He is the greatest enemy of our king. This word just came out. People fall into fear. The mysterious master of heaven and earth. It's the bow in the legend of the emperor. Of course, the immortal name. Such human power. So worthy of his name. Even if it is Fuang Thursday white and lonely battle sky. See this person. The face also immediately changed and could not help frowning. With such a powerful atmosphere. Even if it's a sword. The white god is also a bit shy. She had a cold sweat on her forehead. I can't help but cry out in panic. Why is he here again? This is the right time for rewards. The other side just saw the horror appear. They have no fear like them. There was also a ray of joy on his face. He ran to his side with a soft voice. Fortunately, you arrived in time. Otherwise, I'm afraid the real thing will happen. Don't worry, lady. With the mind and tricks of the butler track, it's not that easy. The celestial prayer gently stroked his beard with a big smile. Hear this word. The whole school in a blink of an eye. They didn't hear it wrong. The sky is crazy to call a lady of the third-class family the Great Lady. There's also the name of Kia's butler. They don't believe anything they say. The peak of this great god. Join the lost to become the head of the family. The opposite is everyone's terror. The elders of the kingdom. With the kingdom of heaven, they don't stop being angry. Because the family's bow was dug up when they... I don't know. This is the face of their king. The Emperor of Heaven finally couldn't hold it anymore. What do you mean by yelling at the elders? Even if you have a little sex with that boy. But in front of the family, you also have to be light. Why did you stand in the way of the master? Revenge for heaven. His eyes softened. Tears of cold laughter. A calm voice said, Ha ha Hongfu master. You're right. Of course, the old man must think for the good of the family. So the body is a lost elder. The old man decided, you will not touch a hair of the butler. Maybe my family is not lost. This is the word of God. It makes everyone fall into silence. They don't even dream about it. The first ghost in this legend. He was captured by a family of 3. People that the 7 kingdoms have never thought of. You can let him work for them. But they don't know. The same God. Work is not about getting lost. Because peanuts have the most quality. Get lost because there's a guard. I don't know how many benefits many people expect. It's just a third-class family. No name. But they have the most powerful evil in the world. There is real power in power. Put a family on the brink of destruction. In just a few years to rise to become a third-rate family. Not only that, just get through today. They're on the same level as the 7 kingdoms. It is most definitely there. Even if the sky changes, they can turn the risk into an opportunity. Miracle after miracle after miracle, the lost draw will soon become a strong family. The monstrous emperor looked at him. He kept his mouth shut for a long time, without saying a word. Impermanent leadership. Now take a step forward and question him. Why do you agree with the bad? That still needs to be said. The old men worked for the good. The reason why I let go of the emperor. The lost one, of course. There's something the emperor can't give me. Tears of horror laughed arrogantly and motionless. But the words just ended. Lift up a storm again. Everyone around me whispered. King of the 7 kingdoms. But not as a small peanut sow. Tricks. It's tempting to draw this person into submission. How did he finally do it? No matter the sound of whispering around. The tears slowly turned around. Look at the hand that is no longer the most powerful. In his eyes flashed a ray of pain. I can't help my body trembling to embrace the body of the most mortal track. He said with a serious face, take orders from your butler. Slightly tilted head. Probably the most I scan. Look at the people of the Emperor. Speak up coldly. All those who belong to the Emperor here must die. Cold words reach everyone's ears. While taking a sip of cold air, I can't look at the surest side. This evil is cruel. I want to destroy the Emperor here. But they don't think. This mighty God. There's no harm in this. To confront the Emperor. It makes them 7 hopes. I can hear the words of the greatest of all. He immediately bowed his head to obey orders. Just finished the ceremony. He turned his head to look at the Emperor. Cop spreads out naked. I want to follow the orders of the best. To kill the Emperor. People see this. I can't help but scold. The people of this place are crazy. But they also don't want to get involved. Dare to start a war with the king of Sao. It's crazy. Those who are lost are all crazy. Ignore everyone's reactions. Tears of horror immediately lifted their feet. Towards the people of Hongfu, the natural resources hit. Kier has just released the gas. Hongfu people of the natural resources, I can feel the gas. Stagnation of breathing in the blink of an eye. There's basically no half resistance. My face is a little panicked. And right now around aloud. The shadow of the white man suddenly appeared in front of the audience. Hit out a chuang. It's like heaven is falling apart. The 2 heads of the fake Kwang mirror a moment of intersection. The air is rocked, emitting a loud explosion. The 2 leaders intersected not long ago. The 2 of you immediately split back. Remind your eyes to look back. Who obstructs the horror? No one else. Is the Pearl of the Sword God Fuang Thursday batch. It is clear that his strength is the strongest. You can fight the horrors here only. He's alone. Even if you don't like the king's people, he must also take care of the whole world. Right now, the white hand hugs the solemn power. Seriously say, Heaven Kang with sacred rules. Of course the immortal name. In subjection. The corners of the mouth are a little slimy. Look at the person in front of you. The sky suddenly rose. The battle ray. Bloodthirsty eyes revealed rays of excitement. One of the 5 great guardians of the 7 kingdoms. Pearl of the Sword God Fuang Thursday batch. I have admired you for a long time. Today is definitely different. You are standing in front of the old man right now. I want to divide the high and low with the old man. The white man heard this word and was startled. Hurry up with your hands. They have no intention of opposing you. But you have to do it under orders. Protect Vanlong City. If you want to fight with the Emperor, I can't help but stop. Please respect the face of the enemy. That's not good for the Emperor. And La Strasau. Hear this word. The sacred ceremony fell into meditation. His words make sense. Now turn to the king. The 2 sides will be defeated. It's not a wise thing to do. But that. He can't disobey the orders of the most evil. Think about here. He looked behind him for his orders. When she saw this, her head was in a cold sweat. He did not expect it 1,000 times. The skies frenzied again. Waiting for the orders of a small butler. Thinking of this, he looked at the troll. Most urgently said, "The butler knows you're angry. But this is not a place to settle personal grievances. Please do not cause the destruction of the race for personal reasons." But most probably just stood there coldly. "Keep your eyes on him. Not a word. The doctor is very clear, no matter what happens." God knows what that means. Body atmosphere, he immediately turned towards the White House. "Feng Xian. Rarely do I have a chance to fight a master. As my liege will not relent. I hope you guys will do your best too. If you lose, don't blame me. Open the border here. Grip the pepper in your hand. White recipe, it also emits the aura of the cold master's magic." Pale looked towards the celestial feast. My parents resented that statement. In accordance with the royal order, Fang'em, he decided not to let anyone cause trouble in the city. His word just ended. The celestial ceremony has moved the hand to form a pan. Force gathered in the palm of the hand. Bite your teeth and scream. Friction 3 Extinction Second Demon Long Pan. 363 equivalent forces. A loud scream came out. God's grace is given to the whole body. Hit down. The strong pressure is like wanting to bring the whole thing to pieces. That Feng Shu White on the opposite side took a deep breath. He doesn't think about the last day. Came out in full force, and the pressure is so strong. He took a sip of foam, and did not dare to delay. Hold firmly pepper in the hand of Hien Thien Sword Kang. According to his shout, the pearl in his hand turned into a sword. Towards Long Trao violently crashed through. Just for a moment to powerful VA forces together. Ear pain sounds. And then diffuse out for sides. It turns everything in the blink of an eye into chalk. Dissipated in the air. Waiting for everything to calm down, sutra ceremony with Fuang Thursday batch. They stood opposite each other. Just not too far apart. 5 to 5 looks at each other a little bit. The pearl of the sword. Fang Batch holds the jade pepper in his hand. It doesn't stop moving, looking towards the tears of heaven frowning. Face of terror. Tay our sutra ceremony. My hands are stained with blood. It doesn't stop flowing to the ground. Misfits often see this. His face was worried, and he lost. Most likely, he shook his head. Not lost at all. It's just peer-to-peer power. No one can do anything. The voice has ended. The pepper in Fuang's hand immediately crumbled. Fall to the ground. The white receiver looks at the pepper in the hand. Unconsciously sighed and nodded. My parents are over 55 years old. I can't believe it broke today. It's like a halfway defeat. God's people laughed for an hour. Raise your bloody hands and say, "It's been 158 years. I was injured today in the hands of my men. It's like losing one way." The words just ended with a big laugh. At this time the battle is high. He turned towards the White House. The winner is now unknown. How about we fight another battle? The white receiver looks at the pepper in the hand. The corners of my mouth are a bit tight. If you are interested. Shin Feng Siyu method. Hear this word. Shinto ceremony nods laughing loudly. I want to go out again. That's right now. Most likely the world coldly cried out his tears. Today we respect Mr. Fang. So don't mess around anymore. I have a grudge against the Emperor the other day.